Set up the play now from Griffin behind the net. Squares out to Aston. Nags on the left side, up to Archer. Carries it over the blue line. And a big hit comes in this time from Dan Mitchell against Archer on the wall. And MK aren't happy with that. And some pushing and shoving going on. And the push from behind on Joe Aston is going to result in a minor penalty. I think that was one too many. It locked out. It was fairly even both ways. And then I think a little cross-check came in from the bench. I wouldn't be surprised if Telford goes short-handed for a couple of minutes on this one. Just for the extras after that sort of pushing and shoving. But as you said, the physicality, it's continuing here at Telford.
Yeah, absolutely. The first two there were fine. There was nothing wrong with it. It was that extra third player in, and that's where the call's going to come.
It was the additional, a little bit extra that they gave there. And this could see Milton-Keynes with their first power play of the night. Still pushing through as they continue to work hard now. Shot comes in, this time from Corey Goodison once again. It's
been a really aggressive penalty kill.
Yeah.
It's...
They've turned it into a good few opportunities as well, and that's good to see that work rate and having that depth of those four lines. And that and a Milton-Keynes power play goal comes from the point, and a celebration from Griffin as he sends the shot in. It might have got a tip just in front of the net, but a power play goal gets Milton-Keynes off the mark at 8 minutes and 18 seconds by the looks of it. And looking at that replay, goes in the back of the net. The shot generated from the point, and a good drive forward from MK as they push down. Comes up to the point, passes across. He's already set up for the shot. In comes the shot. There's a lot of traffic in front of the goal, and the first goal of the night goes to MK Lightnings. A power play goal at around 8 minutes and 18 seconds puts them on the scoreboard. 1-0 to MK.
That's quite disappointing because that penalty kill was looking really good then.
But again, and that's one of the things that you risk, is if you play an aggressive play, when the team come back, if you're not organised in that defensive box, then that defenseman had all the time in the world to generate that shot. Now, there's some pushing and shoving now between...
Another penalty coming up.
28 and 47 getting embroiled in it. It's McKenzie for MK, and there's a little push and shove as he goes back in against Ross Connolly, and the two of them tie up. And there is a lot of physicality, and for me, the referees need to get a lid on this, because if they don't, each one leads to then players trying to justify it themselves and get their own back, and that's where you have a problem, because each level, it steps up a level, isn't it? It's like pushing and shoving.
It's almost like a continuation from the last game.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago.
It was
a long time ago, but it feels like it's got some of that,
Both teams are playing physically, and nobody is accepting a hit. No. So you hit me, I give it you back, and that's where you've got that escalation. And already a warning goes in against a Telford forward, encroaching forward. The Tigers win the draw, and now there's a face-off violation on the other side, which has resulted in each team's getting one warning. So, should anybody do a violation, it's a 2-minute penalty now. They've both had a warning. And there it goes. That's a penalty. That's a penalty. That's a penalty on MK.
Yeah, and the face-off comes all the way down the other end.
Yeah. They do seem to have a bit more across this.
They've been able to move the puck around. When they've gained the zone, they've been able to move it back up, like we said earlier, back up to points.
Plays it off the boards. It takes a tap from Nick Oliver's stick. McKenzie drops it back to D. Passes up on the right side. Nice little tip in there. And Connolly now has got a player in a headlock and is getting a penalty for that. He's either getting holding.
Yeah.
So it's Russell that has to go off. And is it a holding? It was kind of like a sort of Barber's Knox hold, you know? You hold a player around the head.
They were tangled up, and his arm was just over him, and for a ref, he's going to see that.
And he popped his hat off. Yeah. Popped his helmet off. So there was no hiding from it. And Nags turns away, but Sam Watkins just putting a bit of pressure on, waiting to see what they do, switching sides, and that sort of button hook away. So he's just curling away from the player to buy him time, and now suddenly he can skate the puck over, but falls over the blue line, next to the... that's got to be a penalty. And that's your man with his stick. Mitchell King tries to skate across, the puck's in open side, and there he goes again, using the stick rather than the body, and that was inevitable for 5 skaters after that altercation on the boards. But I think as a player, you've got to be wise to this now, because these penalties are going to make a difference in the game. 4-on-4 shot comes in. A great save by Brad Day. The puck drops down. and it's cleared down the ice, but a fantastic effort from Brad Day, because Milton-Keynes just playing that box. Bit of a cross-check there in front of the net. Mitchell King and Griffin having a bit of a battle. Mackenzie's got a bit of time, gives it back to Plant. A beautiful backhand to Weaver. Weaver shoots from the point, goes over the top, and a penalty coming once again, and it's on Milton-Keynes, and it's on Griffin. So this is going to sit now where the Tigers have got a 5-on-3 after Griffin picks up a 2-minute minor for cross-checking. With a 5-on-3, you'd expect to see a Telford goal out of this, Andy.
I would certainly hope some quality chances here.
You know, from an execution, from a power play, you've got a lot of firepower up there. What could be, you could end up vulnerable for a breakaway, but you're outnumbered by 2 guys. Mackenzie puts it across, tries to find Plant on the back post, and I thought that was going to find the back of the net, but unfortunately, Brad Day now skating up to the hash marks to generate the play. Silverthorne drives through the middle. They're up against time with this 2-man advantage, and they want to capitalise it and put it on the score clock before one of those penalties ticks by. Silverthorne up to Weaver. Weaver switching sides. Over to Silverthorne, down low, have a shot, and it goes through the 5-hole, into the back of the net. Jason Silverthorne with a power play goal. Telford Tigers 5-on-3, and that determination of having that 2-man advantage. Telford executing it, getting down low, really bringing the pressure on the netmind from low. I mean, Silverthorne was less than 2 sticks lengths away from him when he shot that, and it found its way through the 5-hole. Stone got a bit to it. It bounced between his pads and literally trickled over the goal line. The referee was right on the line, and the Telford Tigers are on the score sheet.
You're right, that one 5-hole trickled in,
yeah.
But you know, they trickle in, they still count, don't they?
And the Tigers still got 1:29 on the power play, 5-on-4. So that self-belief that the Tigers now know that they can penetrate the netminder. Mackenzie now gets the puck, cycles it around the back of the net, passes in front, and Silverthorne puts it in the top right-hand corner. The second goal in under 10 seconds. Another power play goal for the Telford Tigers, and he executes that beautiful, putting it in the top shelf where you keep the peanut butter. What a goal.
Do you know who made that goal? Mackenzie again.
Yep. He generated that play. There was a lot of traffic there, and with a 5-on-4, that power play was more phenomenal than the first. You'd expect a 5-on-3, but that one was just beautiful in terms of the technical play. And now the Telford Tigers have a 2-goal-to-1 lead in a 10-second time span with 2 power play goals. And now look at Telford, look at the way, the confidence they have as they pass the puck around. Puck comes off the boards, chipped forward, Sam Watkins puts it under pressure. Lasham gets pushed against the board, Joe Aston comes down, and he's got to have a dodgy grind on that, because he's lost his foot on the blue line about 3 times now. Watkins switches sides. Cross-check, gotta be, and it's called, and Aston comes in. And they lock it. That was a blatant cross-check. Now Chamberlain comes in with a face wash in the direction of Dan Mitchell, and the penalty was already on. The referee's right there, his hands in the air as they stand in front of us, and it's blatant. I'm sorry, that was clear as...
Yeah, he's definitely...
An elephant crap in the snow. There's no hiding from that.
No.
Wow.
Right in the back, in the boards. Very dangerous play. Very dangerous. You can see his numbers.
I'm the youngest player on the team as well, right?
You know, as a player, you see somebody's numbers, you don't hit them from behind.
And it was a cross-check in the small of it. I mean, you see those in the crease, right? You see those in front of the netminder. But in the corner, stick work. Told you. I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
And the problem is now, the referees have had him for it twice. They ain't going to let him get away with it. He got away with a couple early doors, and now will the Telford Tigers put a 3rd power play goal on, in which case the difference in this game is who ends up on the power play. Weaver comes in with a shot, finds the top left-hand corner, and that peanut butter jar's been smashed to bits now. 2 goals in there in some 15 seconds, there or thereabouts. Power play goal number 2, and Stone skates out of his net. He's got to get his head in this game. You know, will they change the netminder? The other netminder looking across, and they're going in the same spot as well. Yeah. And Weaver's picked out the spot. Silverthorne's picked out the spot. The other one, unfortunately, got a bit on it. It trickled through his legs. But now the Telford Tigers have got the momentum of a steam train with a 3-1 lead here at the Telford Ice Rink tonight. Keen, Samuel Talbot. And a tripping penalty going against Danny Rose. That's unfortunate. There was a bit of they almost suckered it out, but that'll take it back now to MK picking up a power play. And a misconduct penalty goes as well. Now, interesting who's going to pick up the 10, because if that who's gone with him? Danny Rose goes, and is it Goodison maybe? I didn't see who got the misconduct penalty, but that takes them out for 10. Now, if that's Goodison and Rose, that's a whole line of defence. You'd almost want the 10 rather than the 2 from logistically with the way the teams are playing on the PP. And now, Chamberlain, D-to-D pass. Jameson
this is a big opportunity.
Lines it up, shoots, and he finds the top left-hand corner. There's so much traffic. As we sit, I couldn't even see Brad Day's face, and I could see 3 players as they lined up. And now, 8 seconds into the penalty, it is now MK2, Telford Tigers 3. And MK have still got a 5-on-4 for the next minute and 52 seconds. The guys in the box are making the difference.
Penalties.
Every single goal.
Penalties have killed both teams.
Here at the Telford Ice Rink. The score at the end of the first period is Telford Tigers 3, MK Lightning 2. Every goal scored has been on a power play in the game so far. It's been a very physical, hard-working game. What will the coaches have to say to their team members? We'll find out how things shape up with the second period action. Hopkins tries to play it forward, but Jameson picks it up once again, puts it through on the left side. MK on the break now. Hopkins carries it back, but hard work from Talbot, digging in, really pushing and skating hard and working to gain that puck. And that kind of work rate is what you want from your checking forwards to dispossess the Telford defence of the puck.
Look at it.
And he keeps going and finishing his hits as well. It's a good asset to MK.
Yeah, it's taken 4 players to get out of that zone there.
Now Jack Watkins taps it on, goes in the back post. Mitchell King comes across, and a penalty's gone up. And it's a hooking penalty.
Yeah.
Oh, hands coming up high from Joe Aston as he comes across.
And I think some of them...
Dan Mitchell up to Sam Watkins on the right side.
The netminders aren't expecting the shots that they're seeing at the moment.
Mitchell walks it in, tries to carry it in on the backhand. There's some pushing and shoving, and now there's a bit of a lockout there with Lansenberg again. He's the guy. McKinnon now drives down the right side. Andy comes in, gets a shot, puts it on the back post, and it just goes through. And then there's a clash on the wall. It was quite physical there. And as you mentioned now, Field putting the pressure on the forecheck for MK. McKenzie, Field finishing his hit. And it's an offside call. I was going to say, he kind of bounced up and his hit was fairly high. Yeah. But that said, he was 1.5 feet taller, so I don't think it was anything intentional as he went up. But you see that with tall players like Josh Tetlow and the like. Yeah. Exchanging a few words. He finished his hit, and rightly so.
Yeah, I don't think Scott was too happy with that one, really.
No, and you can kind of see why, but in the kids' defence, it was a height difference rather than a malicious intent, as it were. Yeah. With Norris, they collide a couple of times. Norris loses his footing. And again, those kind of digs can lead to things if you're not careful. Yep. And further plays. So you have to be mindful. Archer tries a great backhanded pass through to the slot, but Oliver picks it up. Nick Oliver carries it over the blue line, cuts inside, puts it on the backhand, tries to get the shot away, taken off his feet and driven through the net. There's calls from the crowd, but I think that was a legitimate challenge. There was no way he was free through there, and the defenseman that was back checking, the two of them tied up, lost their footings and then slid into the back of the net. So that'll just be a face-off. I don't think that one that we saw, it's bounced around a bit, and there's a lot of the shots from both teams actually that haven't been particularly concise or on target, but they're taking their opportunities. Yeah. And it's such a physical game. There's pushing and shoving, both guys checking each other on the wall there and tangling up. Now MK, come in, shot comes in, Brad Day saves the puck, it drops to the feet
some good defensive
of Chamberlain, and if he could have got on that again, MK looking real danger of putting one in the back of the net anytime soon if this goes into the corner. Bit of a struggle on the wall there with Silverthorne. Goodison with the shot. Field lunges at the puck. Kept down low by the swinging stick of Corey Goodison. Flicked up high. Stays on the boards, up to Weaver on the point. Weaver gets the shot in and it takes a deflection. Silverthorne comes off the front, and it was Weaver that made the shot from the point. And whether Silverthorne was screening the netminder or whether he got a bit of stick on it remains to be seen. The puck switches direction. It's down low behind the net. Plays up to the point, and I think Weaver might have got that clean in. If Silverthorne did get a bit of stick on it, I couldn't quite see from the replay there, but the Telford Tigers now give themselves the first even-handed goal of the game. Shot comes in through the middle. Chamberlain just in the area. Brad Day gets a stick save, pushes the puck into the corner.
Oh, I think there's a penalty on Day here.
A tripping penalty. Brad Day played the puck, but as he played and lunged at the puck with his stick, Chamberlain comes through, trips over his stick, and now MK have got a power play. It was a 1-0 period to the Telford Tigers, so we go into the second period break. 4-2 in favour of the Telford Tigers against MK Lightning. Weaver tries to keep it down low. Lashram gets a bit of stick to it. Plant gets it, puts it on the back post to Finley Howells, tries to put it under the netminder, and he forced that stick into the back of the net, but it was after the whistle. I think it was clear that Finley Howells had the stick on the puck on the backhand of his stick and pushed that stick through into... Nags picks it up now in front of his bench, skates through the left-hand side, looks across, carries it all the way. Archer, I don't know whether he's taken off his feet by Dan Mitchell or whether he just lost his footing.
Like a bit of an interference play there.
A little bit of a shove just as he's striding. And he gets caught in the linesman's feet and he won't be happy about that. Archer, quite high, knocks Aston's helmet off. And I think that'll just be a stoppage for the puck being froze on the boards. There's no penalty coming. When the helmet came off the other guy, he'd got his hand around his neck and it was blatant. That one, there was just a bit of bump and grind and his helmet came off. There's no penalty there in my eyes. Sniper, yes. Fighter, no. Weaver shoots from the point, but this time Talbot gets on it, banks it off the boards. Weaver puts his stick across, but then pulls it out. That was a smart play.
He's getting a penalty here.
And Weaver's going to be not happy with that call because he put his stick across and then as the player accelerated away he pulled it out because he knew he was on for a penalty, but by that time the referee had kind of already committed to the fact that the intent was there, and that evens things up now. And pushing and shoving, that's it. When you put your stick across the front of a player's body, you can just clutch onto it and hold it. It looks like you're hooking as you try and pull the stick back. Jack Watkins with good hands as he drives into the net, and I'd like to see him finish the shot. He tried to backhand pass it through to Hopkins to finish it, and he'd done all the work and battled his way through. And then MK counter-attack and drive hard down the other end, get a shot away. And now the linesman gets in there quick. And that's McKinney and Chamberlain. Both of them would be quite happy to go, but the black and white of the linesman got in there quick and prevented it from going. Well, the stick's been dropped and losing the footing now. Left side drive from Mitchell King. Backhanded pass around to Jack Watkins. He tried to find Hopkins and it went up to the point. Shot comes in from Goodison. Now a switch round from Mitchell King. Hopkins is there in the slot, but it's cleared out by Archer. And again, my one thing would be shoot the puck earlier. Dive.
Penalty.
Yeah, that's a penalty coming on tripping because Connolly sort of dived across, took the feet of the player out, and he's going to sit a minor penalty for that.
Before at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, like the first period, but without the goals coming off it. We'll see. Now, was that McKenzie tied up with a player through centre ice? I didn't quite see what happened there because it was off the play. I think the two just collided through centre ice. Puck goes around to the point, drifts out over the blue line and now escape forward. Hook comes in, there's a penalty coming against Milton-Keynes now. But can they get late penalty goals? McKenzie puts it in the top left-hand side. McKinney makes the pass, comes across, passes across to Scott McKenzie, who finds the top left-hand corner of the goal. And McKinney and McKenzie put the Tigers on the score sheet. 5-2 the score now.
You give McKenzie a chance like that and he doesn't miss, does he?
That was a short-handed goal.
Yep.
No wonder he was celebrating like he was. So, a great game tonight. The pace of it in the first period was phenomenal. How did it feel from the bench?
It was fun, enjoyed it this evening. I think for 3 periods we played hard, we played the way that we wanted to try and play. Power play was on top, PK was solid. All in all, really happy.
And some great goals, a couple of top shelfers in the first period. Really got the fans behind the voice.
Yeah, it was great to turn the momentum back in our favour after falling 1 behind in the first there. Power play, like I said before, was top notch. Good to see us moving the puck and actually getting rewarded for a lot of work we put into it.
Absolutely, set plays worked really well, as you mentioned. Also, the intensity of the game felt much quicker.
First time we've had 4 lines. Yeah. I think for us, we've played with 4 lines now for 2 years, and it makes a difference. Guys get into that routine. The work to rest ratio is really important. All in all, I thought our forward group was solid. We were physical. Deco were committed, and goaltending was good. So it was a really good night's work.
And the short-handed goal as well. I think that was kind of the icing on the cake to a degree.
I can't remember it.
So this is McKinnon going down the side. Mackenzie comes through the middle.
Yeah, I got
on the
it.
shorthanded play.
No,
Penalty.
it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
It makes a big difference. I think tonight was a big part. We took our chances. We might have created a similar amount last week, but we just didn't convert. Where tonight we were able to put the puck in the back of the net.
And it builds for the team as well, to the boys in the dressing room, to get that momentum, that self-belief.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge for the confidence. Gets everybody up, gets everybody talking and excited, and that sends a message back to the stands. The boys played hard tonight. Really pleased with them. Really proud of them. Another night tomorrow.
And it was great to see a Tigers legend visiting the ring tonight.
It was a real shame that the microphone and the PA system kind of let us down at that point. Cluds have been a phenomenal player for this hockey club, and if you actually look at his career stats, they're phenomenal. And I think he played for over 20 years over here. He scored 3,000 something points in a career. Phenomenal major junior player in the Quebec Major Junior League. And then he's come over here, and I mean, he had 250-point seasons, followed by 157, 115. But to have 3,000 points is an absolute phenomenal achievement.
Telford's all-time highest scorer, and nobody's getting close.
All-time highest scorer, all-time highest goal scorer, all-time in games played for Telford Tigers, and I think he sits second in assists. But I was fortunate enough to play with Claude for 2 or 3, 4 clubs maybe. Great guy, great teammate, and really, really talented. And you know what, if we had a guy like that on our team who could put the puck away like Claude could, he's hard to stop.
And it's fantastic to see players that have pulled on a Tigers shirt returning and supporting the current regime.
Absolutely. I mean, Claude lives back in Canada now, so it's probably been at least 10 years since I've seen him, maybe more. And somebody, for me, when I came to Telford as an 18-year-old, got to work alongside this guy. He was just such an unbelievable talent on the ice. It's more than fitting that his shirt's number 9's in the rafters there. Top-notch player, top-notch guy. I can't say enough good things about him. Really good, fun teammate, and a lot of good memories playing with him.
How is he not aging as well? Because we seem to have aged way more than he has.
I know. I kept joking with him. He looked like he put a bit of weight on, but he hasn't added anything. And he said he hasn't been on the ice for 8 years. Doesn't miss it. Watches a little bit of hockey at home, but just doesn't miss the game. And happy he retired. But what a phenomenal player he was, not just for Telford Tigers, but for UK hockey really as well. He's probably up there with the all-time point scorers in this country.
So I imagine that was your kind of game tonight. Very fast-paced, very physical, hard work.
Yeah, I mean, I think the way we left it back in 2019-2020 season, where there was a bit of rough stuff, we wanted to set the tone. They also come out and they were playing physical as well. Some calls were a bit questionable, but I think the refs got a handle on the game. We calmed down a bit, and then we were just playing clean, but still taking the body.
Let's talk about that shorthanded goal, because that was quite a moment, right?
Yeah, I think it was just excited to get on the score sheet, to be honest. Had a good couple of games last weekend, didn't get on the score sheet, but it's all about getting the win tonight and then putting some points on the board.
And that win must really affect everybody in the dressing room, how they feel, the sort of belief of the team going forward as well.
Yeah, I mean, we've got the same group of players in there, just with a few new additions, so we know what we have to do to win in this league. We've just got to work hard, and we've got to have our home form, definitely 100%. And then tomorrow we just got to roll that into it.
Fantastic. Well done on tonight's game.
Thanks very much.